Hi, Presbytery. Thank you for letting us join you today. My name is Chris Furr.
And I'm Kirsten Furr.
And we serve as missionaries with Paraclete Missions Group. So it's a thrill for us to be here with you today. I am an ordained EPC pastor, was ordained in the Mid-Atlantic Presbytery back in 2004. Of course, I'm serving out of bounds right now. And we've actually been missionaries in France as church planters for almost 10 years. And now we're here outside of Edinburgh, Scotland for the past 5 years. So we wanted to talk a little bit with you about what we do and why we do it. So Kirsten and I are actually directors of a charity here in the UK called East Mountain UK. And what East Mountain is we are a small team. We prefer to call ourselves a missional community. Our missional community has at its heart a desire to provide spaces of rest and retreat and restoration, particularly for men and women that are involved in ministry. We've seen that in our own life of ministry, is that you give and you give and you give, and all of a sudden you find that you're giving out of a place of emptiness. You're giving out of an empty well.
Without intending to, it's very easy for us to start equating doing things for God in the world with intimacy with Jesus. And so our heart is really to encourage leaders to maintain their intimacy and invest in their intimacy with Jesus for the long haul, so that they won't be a casualty but can really run their race well for the Lord.
So we want the outflow of our life together as a community to be reaching those people who are giving, who are reaching those for the gospel here.
So what does outflow look like? We wanted to share some examples of that with you. The first being the Shepherd's Hut, which we're sitting in right now, which is a place for people to draw away with the Lord for restoration, refreshment, and just to have intimacy with Jesus. So it's called the Shepherd's Hut because it's a space to come and be with the Good Shepherd. And we set the table, but the Lord is the host. And so when people come in here, God has something unique for each person. And it has been so beautiful to see his heart and how people feel just a fresh connection with the Lord, or guided in the way that they need, or he speaks to their hearts. And so that has just been such a gift to be a part of.
Another example is pilgrimage. So I have the great privilege to lead pilgrimages on the St. Cuthbert Way, 3 to 5 day pilgrimages. And I've just seen God do amazing things in the lives of the people who actually get on the road and have the chance and the space to actually listen to his voice and to ask deep heart questions. So that's another example of outflow.
Another example is evangelism. Obviously, we said that we invest in Christian leaders, but also just a natural outflow of living in our communities in which the Lord has placed us is meeting those around us, especially parents at the schools that our children go to, and just sharing life and letting Jesus flow through that. And so we've had the joy as well of seeing several local Scottish people come to know Jesus. So that is another example of outflow.
Another example is deep discipleship, mentoring, and coaching. So each member of our community is involved in some way, shape, or form with deep discipleship. Ministry of presence, walking along beside people who are in places of difficulty or struggling, who are asking questions. I've had the chance to work with a lot of men, and it's just been really exciting to see what God is doing in these spaces where people are able to speak freely and vulnerably about what's really going on in their heart. So those are some examples of the outflow of the life of the East Mountain community. But you may be wondering, why Scotland? Now, you're all Presbyterians, so you may think of Scotland as a great Christian country, even the motherland for Presbyterianism. And it was that. And as we'll tell you a little bit later, this is a place that is in desperate need of the gospel today. So the land of John Knox needs re-evangelism. It needs the gospel again in the 21st century. And we believe that Scotland is an important place, that God has used Scotland in amazing ways in the past. And we desire to see him move again in this land through the men and women that he's called to actually serve him here in this land, to see the gospel go forth from Scotland as it has in centuries past. We'd love to partner with you. We'd love to hear from you. If you are interested in what we're doing here, or how your church might be involved in the work of East Mountain with the Furs, there'll be some information at the end of the video about how you can contact us and how you can be a partner with us. So again, thank you very much. We hope you have a blessed presbytery. Why does Scotland need the work of East Mountain, UK? And in fact, why does Scotland need the work of the gospel? Well, on the surface, it's a beautiful country. It's a prosperous country in Western Europe. And on the surface, it would seem to be a Christian nation. But what was true of Scotland 50 or 100 years ago is no longer true. It's a nation that is, in many ways, very, very dark. Edinburgh was once a city that was known for its churches, like St. Giles behind me. But now those churches sit empty. It's more known for Harry Potter tours. It's more known for the big pagan festivals that happen every year in the city, like Beltane. So Edinburgh, in many ways, has abandoned Christianity, and they have turned their faces towards paganism and darkness. Just a few statistics for you. The Church of Scotland, the main church here in this nation, is currently selling 40% of its churches because they're empty. There are no congregations left. Evangelicals make up a slim minority of the population here, less than 1%. And most people who in this Christian nation would say that they might be nominally Christian have no connection to Jesus, to his word, or to a real and living faith. So it's in that context that East Mountain wants to help strengthen Christian leaders who, quite frankly, get exhausted. They are reaching out to a people and to a nation and to this city here in Edinburgh that is so very dark, and they end up empty and dry. So that's why we're here. We're here to walk beside. We're here to strengthen. We're here to provide rest and places of restoration so that these men and women who are called to minister to their own people can do the work, can spread the gospel, so that we can see Jesus impact this nation once again. Scotland was once called the land of the book. And the book they were talking about is the Bible. In fact, this land has had an outsized influence in the spread of Christianity throughout the centuries. Scotland has had more revivals than any other nation on earth. But that's all gone quiet. Can it happen again? We pray so. We believe so. And we want to do the work of East Mountain, UK, to walk along beside leaders who also desire to see the life of God renewed in these lands, so that the people here can again be called not only the people of the book, but the people of the God of the book. That's what we pray for.